Hello, John Bush here, Texans for Accountable Government, joined by Catherine Bleish, Liberty Restoration Project. We are currently engaged in Operation Defuse. You can check out OperationDefuse.com. It's a joint project between TAG and LRP. The goal is to expose the mechanics of the police state through an understanding and doing research, investigating the fusion center apparatus, which is basically a means to centralize data collection, information dissemination, tie together all levels and jurisdictions of law enforcement, from federal to local, from the Department of Homeland Security to your local university police department. And right now we're in the fourth state on the tour, starting in Missouri, then down through Texas to Arizona, and now we are in New Mexico. Check out the mountains. Beautiful. Right now we are on the way to the New Mexico All Sources Intelligence Center, which is a fusion center for New Mexico, which isn't on the Department of Homeland Security list of fusion centers on their website. And we have reason to believe that this fusion center is different than most other fusion centers. Among the reasons, it's not listed on the website like most others are. We've been met with massive resistance as far as setting up an interview and meeting with Fusion Center staff. It took a lot of phone calling, a little bit of elbow grease in Arizona, but we managed to get an interview, lasted about an hour and a half, very thorough. In Texas, we have a tour set up. In Oklahoma, there's a tour set up. In Missouri, there's some meetings set up as well. But for some reason, the New Mexico All Sources Intelligence Center is a little standoffish when it comes to us meeting with them. So yesterday and the day before, we've been calling all week. We finally got a hold of somebody 2 days ago and spoke with them yesterday. Beverly Allen, I believe her name is. And unfortunately, she has declined to meet with us. And to go back, there's another third reason why this fusion center is different from the others. Most fusion centers are operated by either the state police, the Department of Public Safety in Texas, same thing in Missouri, or there's smaller regional fusion centers and there's local police department fusion centers that are operated. For example, we're about to have the Austin Regional Intelligence Center in the city of Austin. It's in the making right now. That's going to be operated by the Austin Police Department in conjunction with the local police departments around it. However, the New Mexico All Source Intelligence Center is operated by New Mexico's Department of Homeland Security and Office of Emergency Management. So we have a feeling that this fusion center is a little more serious and it's more secretive than the other ones. So rather than packing up our bags and leaving New Mexico empty-handed on the fusion center front, we decided to go ahead and visit the fusion center without a meeting set up. And of course we have every right to do this because we own the property that the fusion center is built on. It's actually part of a National Guard headquarters, and there's also a federal penitentiary. So that's another reason why it might be a little more serious than the other ones. But the Missouri Information Analysis Center is also on National Guard land. So we're showing up unannounced, uninvited, and we are going to be delivering a handwritten copy of a public information request, as well as a list of questions that we have for the Fusion Center. And to see, we got a lot of the questions from an ACLU handout that has questions to ask concerning fusion centers, and we have a few more of our own. So you'll be joining us along the ride. It seems like we're there pretty soon. Am I supposed to take a ride on 14? Was that the next direction?
I believe it was 25.
25, huh? Oh, 20. They seem not to have good road signs here. I think 14 pulls up to the other side of it. So I'm just going to turn right on 14. Okay, so that's where we're at, and assuming we don't get lost, we'll be back recording live soon, approaching the Fusion Center. John Bush, Catherine Bleish, OperationDefuse.com, Texans for Accountable Government, Liberty Restoration Project. Choose freedom. There it is. Get on board. 1-800-GO-GUARD. The National Guard. State Guard, not to be confused with the militia. Okay, now let's see if we're going to have to drive through a checkpoint in order to enter the facility.
We did when we went to the Mayak.
This will be interesting.
Looks like yes, we do. Do you want me to film the checkpoint?
Yes. Will you grab my case for the laptop wherever you put it and get the yellow notepad out of it? we go. Onate military. Onate. Onyate.
Where would the yellow notebook be?
Right here. Here we go. Vehicle subject to search. Hello.
How you guys doing today?
Great, how are y'all?
Good.
We are hoping to visit the New Mexico All Sources Intelligence Center to deliver a public information request.
And you're with who?
We're with an organization, Texans for Accountable Government and Liberty Restoration Project.
Are they expecting you?
No, we called yesterday to speak with
Beverly.
Beverly Allen, and she said she wasn't going to be able to meet with us
that
today for
camera
an
on
interview. Yes.
Can you turn it off, please?
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Can't have it on.
Can't have it on.
Is it military property?
Unless we have prior approval, we can't have it on.
Okay.
Can't take pictures from out there, nothing like that.
Okay. That's fine. Are we going to be able to deliver the public information request? Okay. We failed to gain entry to the New Mexico All Sources Intelligence Center. We were uninvited. I guess that's understandable. This particular base, this particular fusion center is on a National Guard reserve base, so they have a checkpoint and everything. It's a little bit more serious than just showing up to your local Department of Public Safety or your local police department. And actually, I don't think there's any laws, but it's wrong to do what we're doing right now, which is record this facility. And it's interesting, what we just engaged in, driving up to the front gate, asking questions if we can enter, can be construed as pre-operational planning or surveillance or testing law enforcement's capability to respond. And this is all stuff that, according to the federal government's guidelines for suspicious activity reports, would trigger officials to do suspicious activity reports, just like they ask for our IDs. And you can bet your bottom dollar that they'll do a background check on anybody that simply just shows up to a fusion center. So,
Especially after being denied entry now.
especially after being denied entry and being part of radical organizations such as ours. Now, the real question here is, why does New Mexico not have street names on their highways? Could it be that bureaucracies and governments are inept in so much as they don't even include road names? Whoop. Or could it be that I need to drive properly instead of running my mouth about fusion centers? Okay, so back to the fusion center, the New Mexico All Sources Intelligence Center. One, not only were they standoffish, we weren't even able to grant access. Of course, we were uninvited, but hopefully we'll get some information once we get the answer from the public information request and the questions that we submitted. But we hope to empower some local activists so that maybe them as New Mexico residents will have better luck than we did. But, technically, we should have every right to visit these facilities as they are governmental departments, and of course the government is we the people, and they're paid for with tax dollars, yada yada yada. You get the picture. So we're going to keep on keeping on. Arizona was great. Hopefully we'll have the footage of that up for you soon. The interview was rather telling, rather informative. And in Oklahoma, we're actually going to have a tour of the Fusion Center, and we're going to be joined by Senator Randy Brogdon and other state officials. So that hopefully will serve as the model for what different Fusion Center activists, privacy advocates should do in order to better understand their state Fusion Center. So we are new to this whole fight, and we learn every day. So lessons learned from the New Mexico experience, I would say, is start calling early in advance before you're visiting a state if you're doing a tour, which probably not many people are going to be crazy enough to drive across the country and visit all the fusion centers. But if you're doing your own, be sure you call early in advance, and if possible, gain an official invitation to the Fusion Center. Check this sign out. Cops everywhere. You drink, you drive, you lose. DWI Super Blitz. Cops everywhere. There you have it, folks.
Welcome to the
Coercion works
police
better than
state.
community. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's cops everywhere.